Hello everyone, this is Babamots with another Homeworlds commentary. The last commentary I did was Will versus Roundabout, and I enjoyed it so much that I looked them up and I saw that they had played a whole bunch of games recently, and so I'm going to do at least one more. Will won the previous one, but it was very close, and I thought it was a particularly good game. Will's going again. Will is going first again in this game, and picks a yellow banker. Let's see what happens. Roundabout takes a medium yellow Gemini. Will trades for blue, so does Roundabout. Medium, medium. Does Will move out or trade? Will moves out to a large yellow. That threatens Roundabout's blue star at home, since this is a small universe. This large star is connected to Roundabout's home, so Roundabout needs to trade or move one of those blues. Not that they were unlikely to do that anyway. Roundabout trades for red right away. Will builds a green, so Will, I think, doesn't want to give up the colors that they've got. They didn't want to give up the only blue ship that they had at their homeworld, and it's not too urgent that they trade for red immediately. So they're going to build that green. I think they'll probably want to trade it for a red next turn. Let's see if Roundabout gets aggressive. Yeah, okay. Roundabout moves into Altair. So now Will's got to decide, do they trade for red back at home, making sure that Roundabout can't figure out some kind of shenanigans to try to knock out Will's blue star really early, or so does Will retreat, or does Will get red to defend the home, I guess is the question here. Yeah, Roundabout commits to this invasion. Oh, that's different. Okay. Will instead is looking at a blue shopping spree to overpopulate the invader and trading their home ship for their mothership for a blue. Yeah, I like that pretty well. Both players would be roughly even. They'd both have same amount of material in two colors. So, I mean, Will is up by a small ship right now, but then Roundabout gets their turn and they get up by a ship. So I guess Will technically is ahead by one tempo. They went first, so they were always ahead by a tempo. That's not bad, not bad. Roundabout picks red for the continuation. Good chance Will goes for red as well. I think that the biggest thing I don't like about Will's position here is that they have a mothership that matches a star, so they'll almost certainly have to trade that at some point. And if Roundabout gets into the blue early enough, they might manage to make it so Will has to trade out of blue without ever having a good way to get back in. Let's see if Roundabout does that, or if they pursue the medium reds. Going for the medium red, Will does too. Roundabout trades for yellow, bringing the ends of the universe together. Roundabout can sacrifice the Y2 to get a ship from one homeworld to the other. Will takes another medium red. And Roundabout sacrifices that Y2 to bring the universe back to, let's see, this isn't exactly the same position we were in before, is it? If Will builds a small blue, I think we would have the exact same position as before. Yeah, they do, and the BGA has detected it. This position has occurred 2 times. Hopefully they find a way to break out of this loop. There were enough things that happened that I think both players had ways to exit this. Roundabout picks red. Okay, Will spreading out this time. So that's different. Roundabout takes the last of the little reds. Yeah, Will, I guess they wanted to do something different, but I don't actually like the spreading out very much. Will doesn't have any red. Roundabout is looking at gobbling up all the reds and can invade the caster colony without too much trouble. Yeah, Will builds a blue, Roundabout invades. I think Roundabout should invade. I think that's a great move. Or at least pretty good. No, okay, Roundabout takes the more benign route of just moving out to a new colony where they can build mediums. Will can build a medium blue and then get it into the reds at the medium level. That's not so bad. Yeah, I think Roundabout might have been better off invading. Okay, Roundabout gets a medium red. Will... Oh, come on, Will. You gotta get... you gotta get red. Um, I know Will really likes blue. Blue is often a color that is a shortcut to big ships because the other player will often neglect it, but there are usually lots of blue stars, especially in the homeworlds. So blue really is a great color to try to dominate, but you've got to have some red. If you don't have any red, you get in big trouble pretty fast. I don't think Will is wise to put off the red quite so long. Yeah, Roundabout invades again. Roundabout, so Will builds a blue. You can't, I don't think you can build your way out of this one. Roundabout can just capture that, and then Will can build a large blue. Sometimes I'd say you can build your way out of trouble. So if Will had just built a large blue here in Electra, then I'd say, okay, yeah, sure, Will can build the large blue and Roundabout takes the medium, but then Will trades for red and maybe starts capturing things back. As it is, by the time Will builds a large ship that can't get captured, um, Roundabout would probably not mind building the blue to overpopulate them. Roundabout would end up quite a bit ahead in material at that point, I think. All right, let's see. I'm sure Roundabout just captures. Really? Moving out the mothership. Um, that's an interesting idea. I think Roundabout's got the idea that they can get to Will's home before Will gets a red, but Will can still trade their... Of course, Will can't trade one of these mediums for red, but Will can trade their mothership for red, which will defend and give them a place to start building more reds. And so I think Roundabout shouldn't actually do this. Yeah, or regular capture is the expected thing, I think is right here. Yeah, and Will, like I said, can build that B3. It can't be captured, but Roundabout's got a blue ship here now. They can overpopulate if they feel like it. That's kind of the obvious thing. And yeah, Will's back down to just 4 ships. None of them are mediums. Um, Roundabout's pretty much cleaning up on the red, which can be really devastating. Will can monopolize the blue all they want, but if Will doesn't get any red, then Roundabout's going to get this for sure. Okay, Roundabout's thinking about something else. This feels like a situation where there might be another really tricky thing to do, like a red shopping spree, maybe. Yeah, in fact, I would. That might even be better than. I think that is better than overpopulating. Sacrifice the G3. Take well, maybe not. Like it's a little spooky because you can't build an R3 at home and an R3 in the colony. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what Roundabout. Oh, they just wanted to try it again. Okay, they stick with the overpopulation. Never mind. I don't. So the shopping spree I think is actually not quite good enough. This, as far as I can tell, that overpopulation is best. Okay, so Will now continues pursuing the blue monopoly. Roundabout cleaning up the reds. Okay, Will. Aha! Will finally gets a red. Um, So now Roundabout needs to decide what to do. They could trade one of their little reds to block Will from getting larger ships, or Roundabout could just build an R3 for themselves. Building it at home would be safe. Will doesn't have any yellow. They couldn't overpopulate. Okay. Yeah, with Will having taken one of those medium reds out of the bank, the shopping spree now gets all the red. So that seems quite good. Roundabout's up by 2 larges now. They'll have to put something back in the bank, which will be able to build. Okay, yeah, Will trades for yellow. Only the reds at Roundabout's home are in danger, so Roundabout just needs to trade or move one of them. I really think they ought to trade. Oh, for the green? Large green? No. Will build the R3 and start catching up in material. I think Roundabout should trade one of the smalls instead. Roundabout's thinking about it both ways. Oh, they commit to the large trade. Yeah, I think Will takes the R3 and is very happy with that. All right, let's see. Roundabout takes some green. Will, I think, goes back to the old standby of cleaning out the blues. Roundabout taking more green. I think green is where they've got is the color with ships still in the bank, where Roundabout has the biggest advantage at this point. Will can try to keep up, but Will won't get a factory out of it, since all the large greens are gone. Huh. Will sacrificing an R2 for nothing? That seems like a misclick to me. Don't see the good of that. Trading for yellow? Yeah, that's better. Yeah, Roundabout doesn't have any yellow ships yet. Will has 2, so Will's got a good head start on the yellow. Roundabout gets 1. Okay. Will spreads out. Roundabout trades for blue now. Okay, that's Roundabout is going to want to get some blue eventually, but I don't think this is the time. Will has 2 small blues perched outside of Roundabout's home. I think if Roundabout committed to this and I was Will, I think I would take out Roundabout's blue star. Yeah, Roundabout changes their mind. Gets the yellow somewhere safer to build, so if Will builds that last little ship, Roundabout gets a large. Yeah, leaning back, thinking about this for a minute, I'm worried that Will's only red ship is a large, so they'd have to sacrifice their flagship to defend their home, or anywhere else that they wanted to capture anything. Unless, of course, it's in the Castor colony. And Roundabout's got a little head start in the green. Only one that's gonna be likely to get a factory. Will's got a good head start in yellow, and of course Will's got most of the blue. And I think what I was really trying to work around to in my lean back analysis here was just that Roundabout, if they're ever gonna get some blue, they're going to have to discover a blue star to do it. Probably a large. I think they'll need to discover a large blue star, because anything else would be connected to the Castor colony, from which Will could launch a potentially satisfying supernova with the little blues. And in particular, Roundabout can never trade for blue at home, so Will's got a comfy lead there. Okay, Will, looks like they're focusing right now on not getting left too far behind on the blues. Roundabout, yeah, discovering that large blue, that both takes it out of the bank so that that's one less large blue that Will can get with their blue monopoly, and potentially is a way for Roundabout to trade for a blue and get in on some of this sweet blue building action. All right, Will now takes that red. When did a red 2 become available? I guess Roundabout must have did they trade it for the yellow? I think they traded it for a yellow or a green. I can't remember. Okay, somehow that got back to the bank, and Will takes it. So that's looking a lot better for Will to have a red ship that they can sacrifice without too much penalty. And Roundabout builds that last green. They build it in the colony so it doesn't make a factory out of their large green at home, but it does have the advantage of making it so if they trade one of these greens for blue, they've still got a green where they can build. So they could continue building green. They could build that G2 back in the colony or at home, and probably wouldn't want to use it to build after trading this. So so what I'm saying is, if they trade the G2 for B2, since they've just built another G2 here, they could potentially build more blue here, but it would probably not be a great idea. Will could overpopulate it with just one of their little blue ships. But I like this in general. Yeah, trading for the blue now. That blue is going to need something to get out of there. Either they'll have Roundabout will need to move the little yellow ship there to get it out, sacrifice the yellow ship to get it out. I think I like the green build better, honestly. Although trading for it now will keep Will from wanting to build a blue at home. So that's something. So Will takes not the last green, but a green ship anyway. Roundabout takes the other one, maybe? Oh, defending their blue star. Ooh, that's they just substantially increased the amount of material here in this system where there's a ship that matches the star. I don't like that very much. Leaves the Deneb colony open to invasion by like a medium ship. Roundabout would have to sacrifice the little yellow to move out the red one, or else something will get captured. I don't like leaving those guys undefended. Yeah, building the green. I think that's good. Roundabout gets a factory, so they can build. Well, there's not a lot left to build. But here's a funny thing that happens fairly often is, and I think I talked about it in a recent video, where one ship for building is a lot less powerful than two. If Will had a factory right now, they could build the small and a large safely. Roundabout can only perform one build anywhere in the whole game without danger of overpopulation. So the factory is not actually as good as they'd like it to be. Okay. Will spreading out the blues. I think spreading out the blues is quite a good choice. Reserving one of the large yellows for later use. That's not too bad either. Nice little investment. Oh, tricky. Okay, I don't think about blue sacrifices very often. Okay, yeah, I like it. Good on Roundabout. Sacrificing the B2 so that I was thinking, gosh, that blue 2 at a large blue star is really not doing them any good. Roundabout remembered that ships can be sacrificed. Sacrifice the blue 2, put them both back in the bank, and can trade some of these reds for blues, putting pressure on Will's home and opening up more space for Roundabout to build the reds back and get a material advantage. I hadn't really been noticing it, but I feel like if I was Will, I might have spread out my reds a long time ago to put pressure on the Electra colony. Roundabout's got a lot of material there that could be blown up with the introduction of one more red ship. I'm a little surprised Will. I might, if I was Will, I might have even sacrificed the Y2 to achieve that. But I don't know how long has that been option been. How long has that option been sitting there? I don't know. All right. So the blue 2 sacrifice. I think this is a sweet move. It also gets. They can also use it to get rid of this near overpopulation situation. Oh, trading for yellow and for large blue. Oh, sweet. I don't know if that's the best combination of trades, but it sure looks good. Oh yeah, because um, Will can't build the R3. Will could sacrifice the G2 to build both of the yellows, get up by a large that way. But Roundabout is going to be able to use their factory to build large red in Deneb and large red in Electra. And Will could overpopulate those in Electra, but they'd have to sacrifice their Y2 to do it. Or the Y3 that they're about to build, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not sure about this combination of colors. I might have traded for 2 blues. But no. Roundabout needs some big yellow power. Yeah, I think this is pretty darn good. I might have considered trading both for yellow, in fact. No, but they need the blue. Yeah, they need blue someplace. Okay. All right, sorry about that, Roundabout. I think you're onto a good thing. Okay, Will just spreading out the red. Okay. Yeah, that's not a bad response. Will is now prepared to build one of those R3s if Roundabout doesn't take both. And wherever Roundabout builds, if Roundabout builds 2 of them, no matter where they put them, they'll be in danger of overpopulation with a simple move rather than even a Y2 sacrifice. Although, if Roundabout were to build both of them in Deneb, then Will would have to decide between sacrificing the Y2 to move the R2 over to Deneb or moving the R3 into Deneb for the overpopulation. And either of those looks pretty good for Roundabout, especially considering that starting from this position right here, Roundabout would only be losing an R1 to destroy either Will's R3 or a Y2 and an R2. Those look like really good options. Roundabout sacrificing the G2? No. You've got a factory. You've got a full-blown factory. Invading the colony? That's not... Yeah, I don't like that too much. Sorry, I shouldn't have hit next yet. If Roundabout invades, I think Will should sacrifice the G2 to build both yellows and overpopulate it. Or... Yeah, and Will would then be caught up in large ships, so that would be pretty good. I don't like the invasion from Roundabout. Simple R3 build, that's not too bad. But with the factory, you could get both. You could get both R3s. In Deneb, it looks that would be pretty good. With the factory, you could get the rest of the yellow bank. There's some options I think are better here. No, not the G. So those builds are great, but you don't have to lose your G2 to do it. Use the factory. Oh no, Roundabout forgot they had a factory. Oh, and there I didn't notice until the Roundabout finished this that one downside to cleaning out the yellow bank is that Will has had this investment sitting here. Will can sacrifice the G2 to build the Y3. Is that what they're going to do? Oh, how interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay. So they sacrifice the G2 to build both of the reds. I'm surprised that Will did it that way because it leaves the yellow in the bank um, that will bring the Y3's existence to Roundabout's attention if they weren't thinking about it before. And so Roundabout might try to block by discovering that as a star, or even trading one of their little yellows away. They can't trade a little yellow away. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, if I were Will, I would have sacrificed the G2 at home rather than the one that was serving as a yellow investment. Let's see if Will commits. Will does commit. Okay, but yeah, still, on the whole, that's a good catch up for Will. Um, Will has 4 large ships, and so does Roundabout, so that's even. Really pretty even forces here. Um, I guess really what the thing to most not like about doing the reds just then is that Roundabout. Well, I guess Will would have had this problem. No, if Will had sacrificed the G3 to build the Y3 in the formal hut colony, then Roundabout wouldn't have been able to overpopulate those yellows, not cheaply anyway. And but as it is, Will's got 2 larges in a colony connected to plenty of reds from Roundabout. Will, what am I saying? Roundabout could overpopulate those 2 larges, only losing one large yellow themselves. But then that's a large yellow that's back in the bank. Will could build it with a G2 sacrifice. Okay, maybe. Okay, so maybe Will's choice isn't all that bad after all. Um, oh boy, but with so much red and yellow on the table, the tension is building big time. Um, Something's gonna give. I feel like I like Roundabout's position a little better just because they've got more yellow to sacrifice, I guess. Huh. Let's see what Roundabout comes up with. Oh, Y3 sacrifice. That's big. What does Roundabout see? Oh, moving the reds into here? That that blows up a medium and large rather than 2 larges. I think I would have liked the caster catastrophe better. Trying to get both catastrophes in. That's something. So Will could just run away, or they could. One thing about having 2 larges as the reds you're trying to protect is that the usual trick that doesn't really have a name yet, but should. I think I was calling it the red ram, where you sacrifice a red in order to capture a red invader. The sacrifice reducing the red concentration so that you're not getting overpopulated. Doesn't work so well when you've got larges you're trying to protect because you're sacrificing a large, in this case, to capture a small. That doesn't feel great. I wonder if Roundabout will commit to this or if they'll try it the other way around, overpopulating the 2 larges and trying to slow push in Formal Hut. Yeah, that's more like what I was thinking. And does Roundabout try to do something to the other colony? Invading with the B3? I don't think I like that. Will just builds into an overpopulation and things are fairly even. I think Roundabout would still be ahead by a little, but I don't think Roundabout needs to be throwing away their only blue ship like this. Okay, looking for other combinations. Let's see what they decide. Overpopulating and spreading out the yellows to give yourself another place to build. That's interesting. Huh, they give up on all of those overpopulation plans and just take that Y3 out of the bank so that Will can't build it. It does leave these guys unhappily undefended, but could be worse, I guess. Let's see what Will does. Back to the old standby of building more blues. Roundabout gets their factory back. I wonder how all of those things would have changed if at all, if Roundabout had remembered they had a factory and not had to rebuild this G2 just now. Yeah, Will moves in for an invasion. I think that's an excellent invasion. But Roundabout now looking at those overpopulations again. Or just trying to evacuate. Or doing a mini factory. Oh yeah, this what Roundabout has isn't quite a factory yet since the greens aren't cleaned out. So I call that a mini factory where you sacrifice a G2 in order and rebuild it in order to achieve a build in a system where you didn't have green. That's uh, trouble with that particular choice was that it would have left the B3 open for Will to build. Let's see, thinking about it again. And they commit to it. Okay, so that gives Will their choice. Oh, gee, I really don't. Okay, that actually is okay. Um, Little picture is I don't like the look of that because Will can build a B3 here in Deneb. Will can sacrifice red to capture all the little ships in Deneb and then be in a better position than Roundabout is to rebuild that R3 that just went back to the bank. So um, if you're focused just on the colony situation, that looks really bad. What looks great here for Roundabout, and I didn't see this coming as well as I should have. Um, Back when Will first had when Will first traded their blue mothership, traded their mothership for blue, matching the blue star, I was a little concerned, but then Will did such a good job of locking Roundabout out of blue for so long that I wasn't worried anymore. But yeah, Roundabout has just taken a big swing for a strong position here. Will might have a good way out of this, but I guess just reinforcing with a red ship at home would be enough. Um, but I think there's a fairly good chance Will is going to be too distracted by this invasion that they'll just proceed with the invasion and not see. Okay, I'm finally actually going to say what I'm thinking here. If Roundabout sacrifices one of these Y3s and moves in their two blue ships to Will's home, blowing up the Will's mothership and a star, and then uses the third yellow action to move the Y3 into Will's home. Will's totally sunk. Will has a large invader in their home, but Will has uh, no large ships at home, and even if Will found a way to overpopulate that invader, it's the same color as Will's last remaining star, so Will would lose. So let's see if Will. That's a nice little setup from Roundabout. Um, Will has got at least two really tempting things on the table. One is the B3 build, and one is a bunch of capturing. Fairly good chance that Will just overlooks it. Will's thinking about building. Oh no! Oh, I'm so sorry, Will. Um, but great on you, Roundabout, for the setup. Let's see if Roundabout was actually thinking the same thing I am. Yep. Knock out the star and the only large defender and move in the Y3. Nice one, Roundabout. Okay, Will, let's see if you've got some kind of miracle here. I don't see it. Even if Will reinforces with two large reds, Roundabout can sacrifice to capture both. If Will had a way to, if Will had a Y3 right now, remember what I was saying? That I thought Will Roundabout probably had the advantage because they had more yellow to sacrifice. Yeah, so if Will right now had a Y3, they could reinforce with uh, two large reds and a large blue. Roundabout could only capture two of them, and then Will could capture everything back with an R3 sacrifice. But I don't think Will has got anything they can do here. Yeah, they clean out the yellow bank, but yeah, Roundabout's going to sacrifice and capture. Wow. Okay. Nice setup from Roundabout, and Will, I can hardly blame you for missing that setup because there was a very juicy colony invasion going on. Sorry that didn't work out. All right. Well, that was another really good one. So that as we're watching Will versus Roundabout games, that's one for Will and one for Roundabout, and I thought those both had particularly interesting finishes. Even though I mean it was a mistake from Will to not see that invasion, but it was a good setup from Roundabout. Um, well timed. I think now I've got to do another one of these. I've got to find another Will Roundabout game and settle this best out of three. Um, they've played a bunch lately. I will pick one, and maybe that's what I'll do next time. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.